Coach, another W. It's a good one. I think we're in third place now for the district, and we just see what happens from here.
Yeah. I mean, we like we talked about after the Atlanta game. We talked with our guys that from here on out it's a playoff mentality, and we really have not given ourselves a lot of room for error, and so we got to make sure we're on point, the rest of the way, and executing at a high level, and it really doesn't matter who's on our schedule. We got to make sure we're taking care of business. So it was good for us to do that. Friday night coming off a bye. I think when you go to a game like that, the challenge is for your kids to be locked in and go and execute, because they know what the record is, and it could be tempting to look ahead to the next week and that sort of thing. But I was really proud of how our kids handled that situation and took care of business. And we got to play a lot of guys and got to try out some things that we've been looking at and kind of working on through the bye week. And so didn't look to be real rusty or sluggish or anything. So all that was good.
Coach, Sabine on a down year, and we ran the clock throughout the whole game, and that was for their advantage, really. They're going to learn some things from playing a good football team as well. But you were able to get in. I mean, was there anybody on the roster that didn't get to play?
No, I think especially on offense. I mean, we had a lot of kids playing in different positions. I think we had maybe 5 guys line up at running back, four maybe. Line up at running back the other night, and all did really, really well. I mean, if you look at our offensive stats, there's no one that really stands out because everybody, it was spread out pretty evenly. And again, like you said, they ran the clock in the second half. I think we only ran a total of like 30-something offensive plays, and I know we ran 32 defensive plays. So that's typically like half of a game, So that was the other thing is we really had limited reps. But that's what happens, and that's fine. So anyway, yeah, we had a lot of kids play, and that was good.
Coach, starting quarterback, changing out some with Chance, but I really liked the way he was able to control the ball, especially when pressure got on him, going downfield.
Yeah.
I think he 2 touchdowns offensively.
Yeah, he had 2 touchdowns offensively. One he threw to Lamar and Douglas on the screen, and then the other one he ran for it.
On.
Yeah, and then he had 2 interceptions, and one he took back for a 93-yard interception return. So he had a really big game, and we all have kind of got grown accustomed to that out of Coben for sure.
Coach, it was the first 5 plays. I looked at Bobby and said, we might have a ball game here, because all of a sudden they were just walking down the field until Coben stepped in front of that wayward pass.
Yeah, both of offensively and defensively, we had a little bit of a struggle, and I think that's probably just attributed to the week off and not seeing live reps in 10 days. But yeah, I mean, we're able to kind of pull it together, and yeah, that was an unbelievable return by him for sure.
But those first 4 plays were probably the best they had all
game. Yeah.
When you go into a situation like that, Coach, and the kids know that they're 0-8, is it hard to get the kids to play up to their standards, or, I mean, because they know the record.
Yeah.
And that's what sticks out in their mind. But is it hard to keep them toned in to doing the things the way they need to do them?
It can be. I think just the message that you preach to them throughout the week is super important, that it's always about us. It's not about who we're playing. And we talk very little about our opponents on a given week.
It's just a faceless team.
Yeah, that's right. Because, I mean, it's always got to be about us. We got to work on us and get ourselves better, and no matter who happens to line up across from us. Now, of course, we're going to talk about personnel and things that, their strengths and weaknesses and things like that. But as far as like, okay, these guys, here's their record, here's what they, we really don't even discuss that any week. And so we just approach it as we got to get better. We have a lot of things we have to improve on. We don't work to beat Sabine or to beat Atlanta. It's about getting ourselves the best that we can be, being the best versions of ourselves.
Coach, when the subs went in, was there anyone that really stuck out as doing a really good job?
Yeah. I mean, I think that Vontae Black, got some carries. I think he averaged
was
about
like a
6
wild man
yards.
out
Yeah, 6
there.
yards a carry. So he's someone who's definitely been on the uptick. He's just continued to work, and of course he missed all last year. He had a broken foot, and so didn't get to play. And so he's almost like a red shirt a little bit, and he's a junior, but really didn't get to play at all last year. So to see him have the success that he's having has been good. Another guy who's really been coming on the defensive side is Brian Jamison at inside linebacker. So he's been playing a lot more when because Coben's playing offense now, or playing more offense, and to be able to put him in the game and know that there's not a whole lot of drop off, and he's able to control he's able to operate the defense and kind of take over the responsibilities of getting us lined up and making strength calls and getting the signals in from Coach Morales. He's someone who's continued to step up and do a really good job as well. So those are two guys in particular.
Is he a junior?
He's a junior. Yep,
Okay.
yep, yeah. Both those guys are juniors in that junior class.
I was just looking at the stats over the weekend. Atlanta's number 1, 8-1 overall, 5-0 in district. Bladewater's number 2 team, 7-1, 4-0. And they play tonight, I believe, don't they?
Yeah, they play. Yeah, they play.
Friday night.
Friday night. Yeah, they play Friday, and so that'll obviously determine kind of the 1 and 2 spot moving forward. And so yeah, that'll be a big game.
Bulldogs 5-3, 2-2 overall. Liberty Elyeau 3-5, 2-2. White Oak 5-3, 1-3. Tatum 2-6, 1-3. That's just I don't know what's happened in Tatum, and then of course Sabine now 0-5, 0-9 on the season. But Tatum has seemed to have they graduated some guys.
Yeah, they graduated.
A big class.
Big class last year. That was really. I mean, obviously they go win a state championship in basketball and make the playoffs in football, and so they are breaking in some young guys. But I know we'll talk more about them next week. But yeah, I mean it's a little bit of a different year. But again, like we've been talking about, I think it kind of speaks to the depth of our district. So the teams have improved, and so that's good, and hopefully that means that we'll be successful in the playoffs with the teams in our district.
Coach, what were the positives and negatives of this game against Sabine?
I think the positives were that we got a lot of kids playing time, and again we're able to work some different things. We're trying to establish the run and do that in a lot of different ways, and so I think probably people saw that and get more people involved. I mean, we have a lot of people on our team who can do some damage with the ball in their hands.
A lot of multi-talented.
Yeah, and so getting those guys involved and finding and getting them reps, and I think that was probably the best part. And then on defense, to be able to come out and shut a team out, I don't care who it is.
That's right.
Hold a team to 29 total yards. That's really hard to do.
Almost non-existent.
Yeah, so those were the positives. I think the negatives, and this is, I don't even know if this is how is just that we didn't get a whole lot of reps, and that's just how that's basically what I mean, and so that's the thing is you'd like to get some more reps, but obviously you want to take care of a team, and I don't have a ton of respect for that coaching staff and that program, and want to make sure we're taking care of those guys in the second half, but also just I mean, we got to keep our kids healthy too, because we feel like we got 8 more games left in this season, and so we have to kind of play with the long game in mind. So that would probably be the biggest negative from that, was just the amount of reps that we got.
Coach, coming up, Liberty Elyeau, every year that we play them, it's a fist fight all the way down to the no matter if one's good and one's bad, it's just a fist fight. They're a little bit on the dangerous side because they do have some athletes, and we're going in looking at them. And what do you think about them overall before we even stepped out on the field with them.
Yeah, I mean they're again just a team they got a ton of athletes um, and they're really well coached, have a good scheme. Their scheme on offensively is going to look very similar to ours. Their head coach, our offensive coaches are kind of the same mindset from an offensive standpoint, and so you'll see a lot of similarities in their base stuff versus our base stuff. Now our personnel and their personnel are different, and or we're going to try to do different things with the kids that we have, but very similar personnel. They're starting a freshman quarterback who I think is going to be really good in the future. Right now, he's figuring things out and has a good arm and can operate really well. It's clear he's intelligent. He's just he needs more reps. But I think this is the third freshman quarterback we've faced this season, and all of them have done really well. I mean, typically, if you're starting a kid that's a freshman, then he's got something special. So, but then they'll also play one of their wide receivers back there at quarterback as well, and probably their best offensive player is their running back, number 1. So, and then they got some receivers. Again, number 6, they put him out there, and number 7 and 5. I'm sorry, number 12. All those guys are really talented, and their offensive line is athletic. And so they're going to present a lot of challenges offensively and defensively. Their defensive line, their defensive front is probably one of the better ones we've seen this year. You got Mr. Basinger, his grandson, our assistant principal over there at the elementary school. His grandson is an animal, and he's just a sophomore. He's really, really good. And then they have an interior D lineman that's also really good. So up front, they're going to be really sound and tough for us to deal with. But we feel like we have some things in place that can hopefully offset those advantages for them. So overall, I mean, I know they're going to be coming in here just like we are, hungry and want to go prove themselves and secure a playoff spot, all those things. And so we got to be ready.
The last spot is up between, really, I mean, I think Liberty Elyeau's got it. I mean, the other 3 are just 0-5, 1-3, 1-3 in district, and I don't think either one of them can. Of course, if they come out, well, they've probably beaten everyone else. So.
Yeah, Tatum will have. If they can beat White Oak this weekend, and if that can put our game with them could play a factor. So it's still undecided, and like I said, I really honestly until right now, I haven't really looked at the rankings. Not concerned. I mean, I just we got to go take care of it this week, and all that stuff will figure itself out, work itself out. So.
Yeah, sometimes a team that hasn't won much can be the hungriest and step above
Yeah.
themselves and do things that aren't expected. We darn sure don't want to get caught in one of those.
Right.
Anything else about the game coming up?
Well, it is senior night. We're going to honor our 7 seniors this Friday, and I'm going to say their names, and hopefully I don't leave anybody out. But we got Aaron Ballard, Dell Brown, Keelan Williams, Fisher Bradley, Tyrell Relaford, and then I got.
I've talked to.
I'm looking. Will Baldwin, and we got. I know there's. I got to look in my mind. Adam Johnson. So all of those guys. I think to talk about them collectively as a group. I think that's a group that when they were coming through junior high and even their sub-varsity levels, didn't necessarily experience a ton of success, but they've grown tremendously. And I don't think a lot of them were guys that were viewed as leaders before this year, but man, they've really, we've challenged them as a coaching staff last offseason and even this season to step up and fill those roles, and they've done a really good job with that. With 3 of those guys being our captains, being captains for us, and Aaron and Keelan and Dell, sorry, and then Fisher might as well be a captain. The way that he has the respect of that locker room, and I know you said you talked to the UIL about getting him one more year.
I had a call for one more year for Fisher Bradley, and even the Gnome.
Yeah,
I mean, he comes in at times when we need him, and he steps right up and doesn't drop a spot.
Yeah, all of those guys, have really done a good job. Like I said, Will is is somebody. He's invaluable because we can put him wherever we need
Any
him,
position on
and
the
he's
O
ready to
line.
go. Like I mean, he's so really proud of him. And then Adam Johnson is a kid who was playing, kind of bounced back and forth from JV to varsity last year, and was playing on the defensive side. And really, we asked him in the summer to go play that tackle spot, and has held it down all season over there. And so really proud of him for that. And then Tyrell is a kid who came to us from Hughes Springs last year, and just works every day and shows up and is not an issue, and really tries to do whatever he can to bring value to our program.
And he's ready to go anytime you might need him.
Yeah. So anyway, we'll honor those guys Friday night, and they're going to honor, in turn, they're going to have honor a teacher from the district that they appreciate and that they want to make feel special, because we want to honor those teachers who helped these guys get to this point. So that'll be another thing that we're doing this week is doing some things to honor those teachers. And then finally, it's Halloween. So we know everybody's going to be making plans to go trick-or-treating before the game. Hopefully by 7 o'clock they're parked in that stadium.
That's right.
But also our pregame tailgate's going to have a trunk or treat. So there'll be plenty of candy for everybody to get, and
everybody bring the kids out.
Yeah.
Even if you can't make it to the game, but since you're there, you might well
Yeah,
go
wear
to
wear
the
your
game.
costumes. Wear your costumes to the stadium, to the game, and that'll be a lot of fun.
Oh my goodness, there was something I was going to ask you about. Oh yeah, I was going to say, I never understood when the kids take their walk on that night, until my daughter graduated, and that was in, 2010. But I watched Trevor Murphy's dad. I was watching him, and he had tears in his eyes when they came out, and I'm thinking, what are all these? I mean, these are big old rough, tough dads that are doing that.
Yeah.
And then we got on the field, and all of a sudden, with Catherine, I was like, this is the last time I'm going to ever. She was a cheerleader as well.
Yeah.
This is the last time I'm going to watch her do something like this, except for during golf season.
Yeah.
And sure enough, the water fountain turned on.
Yeah,
I looked at my wife, and I'm like, well, dadgum, I better get in gear and get with it. And I was like, darn.
Yeah.
But it's weird to be there. That's the last time those football players will be on Bulldog, in Bulldog Stadium, Jerry Bennett Field.
Yeah. Yeah. It's such a.
You've got that coming.
Yeah, I do. Yeah. Lord willing, as far as, with my own kids. But also, I think what people maybe forget about or don't understand is like the tough thing with seniors every year is just the finality of it, because you go from being around these kids every day, you're practicing with them, you're in the weight room, you're watching
They're part
film.
of your family.
Yeah, like every single day, to when that last game is over, for hopefully, again, for us, that's in December. But when that last game's over, like from that moment when you walk off the field, like that moment, your relationship with them changes forever. It's never the same, because, you bring them back on Monday, and you have kind of closeout meetings for the year, and they clean their stuff out, and I always do exit meetings with the seniors. And then after that, you don't see them. For the rest of the year, even if they run track, or even if they, play basketball or baseball, you don't see them. I don't see them every single day, and it just changes, and it'll never be like it was. And so that's always a tough thing, because you get so attached to these guys, and so that's something we always. That's the beautiful thing about the playoffs, is you're just trying to earn an extra week with those guys, with this team. And so that's what we're wanting to do, is earn extra time with these seniors.
And I don't know how many we have on our roster. What, 30?
We have 40 that are all together. We have some guys that are banged up, that aren't playing. So that brings that number down a little bit. But
so you have 40 sons that are playing the game of their life, basically on their last home game. They want to make that a special one.
Yeah,
So,
for sure.
A lot of people don't understand that. It's senior night, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But especially for the mom and dads, and you guys are just like dads with them.
Yeah.
They're your kids for 4 years, and
Yep.
it's
And
different.
Well, like I remember my senior night, we played Livingston, and we weren't going to the playoffs, so I knew that was my last game, and that's a hard feeling too. Fortunately, if we take care of business these next 2 weeks, we don't have to, our guys won't have
We're
to.
halfway through our season.
Right, we won't have to have that mentality. But I remember that game, and that was 21 years ago.
Time flies.
Yeah, I mean it was it's one of those things, and I still remember all the guys in the locker room, and that those are the things you remember the most, and so we know that every one of our kids have an expiration date as far as their membership in this program and their time in this program, and it's we all have that, and it's we got to keep that in mind.
Coach, Dad wanted to talk about something that we really haven't had the opportunity to do. Last year we had more coaches on, but this year they're in different times, et cetera, et cetera. But I'd like to go over all the coaches, and I'll call the names off, and you just let everyone out there know what their jobs are, and
so they know who to yell at.
Yeah, exactly.
So they don't all yell at me, so they can
There you go.
Yeah,
but
we probably should have done this at the beginning of the year. Yeah.
But a lot of them do things that folks out there don't know. And I'm talking about sometimes you guys are the only ones left when the kid's standing out there and it doesn't have a ride home.
Yeah.
And you make sure they have a ride home. You make sure they've got breakfast. You make sure they get to school.
Yeah.
You guys are like dads to these guys, and a lot of them look at you as dads because sometimes there might not be a dad much in the picture if there's a dad at all, and you guys are the guys that mentor and teach them throughout the year. So let's start with Coach Reeves.
Yeah, Coach Reeves is our assistant head coach, special teams coordinator, strength and conditioning coordinator, recruiting coordinator. He's got a lot on his plate, but he can handle it. He's a worker, really intense, extremely loyal, coaches hard all the time, and I think the kids respect him for that.
And I see him with kids.
Yeah.
Off the school.
Yeah.
Guys.
He took a group on a recruiting trip. A group of them got invited to a Ouachita Baptist football game a few weeks ago now. He took those guys and then he went. I know I couldn't go this weekend, but he went up this weekend to watch Kyrie and Zach Hulsher play. Their two teams played each other this weekend, and so he was kind of the coaching staff representative. So he does a lot of that stuff too. So he's awesome.
All right. How about Coach Simmons?
Yeah, Coach Simmons is our co-offense coordinator and quarterbacks coach. Came to us from Jacksonville a couple years ago, and just has a big time heart for kids and coaches those kids hard. Is extremely knowledgeable and just does a great job preparing. Chance and Coben and Cam, our JV quarterback. And gives them a lot of knowledge and a lot of things to think about. And we wouldn't be where we are as a program without him.
I also see him in town with kids on off days and even during the summer with kids.
Yeah.
He's mentors to them.
Yeah, all of our coaches, I mean, that's kind of a prerequisite that, something always, whenever we're bringing coaches on, we got to be big time relational. And that's key. And if that's something you're not about, then you're not going to coach here. So,
how about Coach Morales?
Yeah, Coach Morales is our defense coordinator, and he's the sort of the architect of our defense this year. And I think going into the season with us changing coordinators because Coach Kimball left for New Boston, I think that was probably a big question: is how was that transition going to go, or was there going to be a drop off? And lost some guys, especially up front with our defensive line, and it's been. I think we've taken it to another level this year with our defense, and that's a big time. Kudos to him and the kids buying into him. He does a lot of things off the field too that people don't see. One thing that I thought was awesome is we didn't lose one kid in our whole program, in our whole high school program, to grades. Everybody passed.
That's phenomenal.
And a big part of that is he coordinates our study hall that we do every Tuesday after school. And he sends emails out to teachers for every kid who has a 75 or below in class, in a class. They're required to come to that or get it fixed before after school study hall. And so He stays on the kids about their grades and prints out grade reports every week and goes and sees teachers. And so he does a lot of stuff for our kids. In addition, like you said, talking about feeding them breakfast, during our bye week on a Friday morning, he made pancakes in here while we were lifting. And so when they got done, they all had pancakes. So yeah, he does a lot of stuff for our kids outside of the football part.
Jason McClendon.
So Coach McClendon is also, co-offensive coordinator, and coaches running backs, brings a ton of knowledge for our offense. We had him on last week. You hear him talk. He's extremely intelligent and cerebral.
Very, very much so.
And been a head coach, been an athletic director before, been a coordinator before, so a ton of experience. And then has a really good, his passion is building young men and growing young men. And so he's been a really big help for me in that aspect.
Well, the next guy we're going to talk about is a homegrown Bulldog all of his life.
Yeah.
On and off the field. And I'm talking about none other than Pete Johnson.
Yeah. Coach Johnson's invaluable because of his knowledge of the kids in the community. He has a passion for these kids and for this place. It means something to him, for the Jefferson Bulldogs that means a lot to him. And you can see that in the way he coaches our kids, and he does have a big time heart for our kids. He comes out to the Little League games on Saturdays, and he's a PE coach at the elementary school, so all those kids love to see him. But he coaches with a lot of passion, and again, he's someone I lean on a lot for, just to kind of get the pulse of the kids, and he has that. He knows what's going on, and so he's super super valuable to us.
I'll just say it for him, and he represents a lot of the other guys, especially the guys that coach the little league teams and that sort of thing. He's living a dream.
Yeah, for sure.
Josh Cuellar.
So Coach Cuellar is our offensive line coach. He's our head baseball coach. You want to talk about someone who knows football. He knows a ton of football, and he could coach any position on our field, on the field, and does a great job with our offensive line. Is really detail oriented and coaches hard, and does a great job in the classroom as well as a teacher over at the junior high. And we're really, really fortunate to have him.
Matt Ashby.
So Coach Ashby is another kind of hometown guy. Yeah, has a big time heart for kids, and so he kind of is someone that we use really all over the field on the offensive side. He's up in the box for us on Friday nights, and does a lot of our camera stuff, like our film stuff that we can. Makes cut-ups for us when we go in at halftime. He has those ready for us for our offensive coaches to watch. That's something we can do now these last 2 years is use film at halftime. And so he'll do that to where we can go by and go through and look at, okay, these are some things that worked or didn't work. And so it's not, well, we think they did this, we know that they did that, and Matt is a big part of that.
That's something you didn't have 10 years ago.
Or 5 years ago, 3 years ago. Yeah, it's brand new.
That's another testament to what Mr. Patrick and his crew does.
Yeah, absolutely, for sure.
How about Big Nasty, Stephen Randolph?
Big Nasty. Yeah, that might be a new. You may have to get that nickname out on the Bulldog TV.
I can do that. That's not a problem.
Yeah. So Coach Randolph, again, another guy who's been here a long time. I think
he's got moss on his ears.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. No, but he's again has a big time heart for our kids. Coaches with a lot of passion and enthusiasm. He does all the stuff, and I don't want this to be taken the wrong way, but he does all the stuff that a lot of people don't want to do.
He steps up and
like the things that people don't see are all the amount of time that
before the game when everybody else
he sets up he sets all the stuff up. He drives the trailer, drives the truck, and all that stuff that you don't even think about that you have to have in order for a game to happen. Even with everything that our kids wear on a Friday. He sets that out Thursday night before the game, and so he's in there late Thursday night putting out everybody's sweats top or their gear or their pants or whatever, and that takes a lot of time. And then he runs that equipment room, and that thing is immaculate and well organized. And he hey, we need this ordered or whatever, and he's just on top of that stuff. On top of coaching one of our most important units, our defensive line, who they've played really, really well this season. So really happy to have Coach Randolph on the staff.
Jesse Biles.
Coach Biles
He
is
gets around as well.
yeah, he's a Dangerfield guy.
We know.
But
We
married
remember him.
to a school board member's daughter, and so we feel like we got a good grasp
He's
on
a
him.
Bulldog now.
Yeah. But he's our junior high coordinator, and so he's oversees our junior high program, and then also coaches our DBs, our defensive backs, and he is someone that's always coaching. So when he's on the field, he's always coaching. He coaches with a lot of fire, a lot of passion, and gets those kids playing hard. And then he's a big time help for us on the sideline as far as helping us diagnose what's going on in the passing game, opponent's passing game. But he's got a really bright future ahead of him, and we're really fortunate to have him.
We want to keep him.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Outside linebackers, Mike Todd.
So Coach Todd's kind of a local legend. He's from Marshall. Played football back in the day for those guys. Played linebacker and helps us in the box on Friday nights. Kind of what Coach Ashby does for the offense, he does on the defense. He gets our film kind of organized so we can watch it, and he talks to us about what we're seeing, from an offensive standpoint. And it's just one of those guys. He's quiet but has a really good heart, and really enjoys being around the kids, and they enjoy being around him as well.
And one guy we've got to remember, he's been around for quite some time, Matt Burke, athletic trainer.
Yeah. So Matt, wish he was around a little bit more. We'd like to have him full time here. But anyway, he does a great job, as our trainer, and loves the kids, and he's in Longview, but he comes over every Monday, and even if it's just a kid with a banged up whatever, he's gonna make the 45-minute drive over here to come and check them out. So really appreciate all the work that he does.
Okay, Coach, one of our nemesis now, the Liberty Elyeau Leopards.
Yep.
We're going up against them.
Yep.
And we're fired up and ready to go.
Yeah.
It's senior night. Anything? Am I missing anything?
No, I think we're like I said, we know it's Halloween, and we want everybody to go get their trick or treating done early, and then be at the game. Bring your costume, bring your candy. So
the before game party will still be going on.
That's right.
So bring the kids out after you've gone trick or treating, and Jay, you look like a goblin. Good night.